The Giants' big three of pass rushers, Kayvon Thibodeaux, Brian Burns, and Abdul Carter. They've lived up to the hype so far in training camp practices and the preseason. So here are 3 plays from their preseason win over the Jets by their big three that's putting the entire league on notice. All right, first play. Kayvon Thibodeaux gets a hurry on Justin Fields. Now, this dude backed up all his talk from the joint practices, and he put some good things on tape this game. It all started with this quick pressure. You can see Brian Burns, who's usually on the edge here, lined up over top of the slot. He's not blitzing. He's not coming off that edge. He is in coverage. No Dexter Lawrence this game, and Abdul Carter wasn't in with the ones just yet. Kayvon, it's all on you, big dog. Here we go. Let's start this play up. The Giants are only rushing 4 here. Kayvon has to win his one-on-one to get pressure, and that's exactly what he does, causing a bad throw by Justin Fields. Let's take you guys to the tight, break it down a little bit more. All right, now we can really see this one-on-one. Kayvon Thibodeaux is a guy that everyone's talking about this season because obviously the Giants drafted Abdul Carter 3rd overall. But this dude has been putting some good stuff on tape, not only throughout the training camp practices, but in this game alone. Let's break it down even more for you guys to start this thing up. You can see him set up this right tackle with his speed, put his foot into the ground, boom, club wipe. You're on the quarterback just like that. Justin Fields has nowhere to go with the football because Kayvon Thibodeaux and that quick pressure put pressure on Justin Fields to get the ball out of his hands fast. And that's with rushing 4. You have 4 rushers, which means you're dropping 7 into coverage. Someone has to win their one-on-one, and that's exactly what Kayvon did to cause the bad throw. This next one, Brian Burns comes off the edge for a smooth TFL or tackle for loss. Now, I've talked about how the Giants defense has to be better against the run this season. 2024, they were gashed for 19 runs over 20 yards or more. That was second most in the league. If they can't stop the run this season, the season is over. All right, let's start the play. You see Burns here in the red cleats, fire red cleats here. What I love about him, gets down, gets set, sees the tight end motion over. You see him reduce his split, and that allows him to get skinny and beat the tackle to the spot. Beats him with speed, and he's able to cut off that running back and chase that play down from the backside. All right, let's start from the beginning again for this play. See the Jets come out. Brian Burns, you see him in this technique right here, gets down. Now, this is great play recognition because he understands he needs to win to the inside. Pause it here. Stop. Or run it back a little bit. We're going to run this back a little bit. I want you guys to watch Abdul Carter up here in the red. Watch him this play because the Giants defense, I've talked about how they were getting gashed throughout last season. Abdul Carter sets the edge here. This play cannot bounce. Look at all that green grass to the outside. This Breece Hall cannot get to the outside because Abdul Carter sets the edge. Run it back just a little bit more. And I want to highlight one more player on this Giants defense. Stop it there. Also, look here. Elijah Chapman does a great job beating the tackle and getting to the inside as well to set pressure. This leakage makes Breece Hall want to take this ball up the middle. Now you can see they could get gashed here. There's green grass here. There's green grass there. But Brian Burns understands the assignment. Beats the tight end to the inside. Nice to play, runs it down from the back, and now the Giants have a tackle for loss. This is something they have to continue to do throughout the course of the year. All right, last but not least, because I know when we're talking about Abdul Carter and this Jets preseason game, everybody's talking about his welcome to the NFL moment when he got set on his ass or put on his ass. Well, on this one right here, I got to give the young man some props because he set the edge. Now, I'm going to sound like a broken record because I keep talking about how the Giants are just emphasizing stopping the run this season, but not to kick a dead horse or anything. They gave up 5 runs of 40 yards or more last season. That was tied for most in the NFL. But a lot of those runs were because the ball carrier was able to hit the perimeter. Like I mentioned in the last play, the edge wasn't set. Abdul Carter understood the assignment on this play. Let's check it out. The Jets are trying to run some sort of inside zone off of the read option, and you see his technique right here, or his alignment. He's in a wide 9, sets the edge with force. with violence. And again, that allows the players from the inside to swarm to the ball and make a play in the backfield. Let's check it out on the tape because you're going to love it even more and what this rookie is able to put on tape. All right, let's bring you guys down to the trenches. Love the tape. Watch the big man go at it. All right, you don't even see Abdul Carter lined up on the screen just now. When we're talking about these inside runs off of RPOs, if they kick out and they get enough space in these zones, you might as well call it a touchdown. And I'm going to highlight Kayvon on the backside as well because him showing face or him getting to the quarterback is what made Justin Fields hand the ball off. Let's check it out right here. All right, I'm going to run that. You still can't see Abdul Carter. He's in that wide technique. Get ready to pause it. Now, boom, violence. That's how you take on a block in the NFL. This is not the Big Ten no more. Big boy Abdul Carter put his big boy pads on and he makes a play against a pulling guard. This is a guard that's pulling. And him setting the edge and setting the perimeter with violence now cuts the field off even more. You see Breece Hall in terms of where his hips are turned. He's thinking about bouncing this thing to the outside. But because, one, Abdul Carter sets the edge, sets the perimeter, two, this defensive tackle on the inside beats this guard here on the down block. Now you've got leakage. You've got color filling the hole, and that's making Breece Hall want to cut this thing back in into this tight window here between it. But there's no space here. Breece Hall is thinking he's got to make something out of nothing here because of these two defenders right here. But I want to give another shout out on this play because it's Kayvon Thibodeaux. The way he's playing this read option. Usually, if a defensive end comes hard down the line, quarterback pulls it. And Justin Fields had a couple of successful runs against the Giants defense on these RPOs during the joint practices. But you see the way that Kayvon is able to play both the run and the quarterback. DYJ, doing your job, or like the Giants like to say, 1 of 11. You're 1 of 11 guys on that football field at the time. You have to do your job. Now back to Abdul Carter because I know this isn't going to show up on the stat sheet because I don't think they gave him the tackle, but it's definitely going to get this man some love in the film room. Look, week 1, the Giants head down to the nation's capital to take on the Commanders, who had the 4th best rushing attack in the NFL last season. On top of that, we all know Jaden Daniels played his way into being a top 10 quarterback in this league. Stop the run and contain Jaden Daniels, and the Giants have put themselves in position to win that game. It's easier said than done, but the Big Three is putting some stuff on tape that shows me that they're ready for that smoke.